Where is this going?
All he could talk about were UFOs.
UFOs?
That's right, UFOs.
We need to speed this up. We just have this evening, and I don't want to be stepping onto a flying saucer when Cressida calls.
Then he started talking about Skyboy. It turns out he had a whole box of letters with dates, but he hadn't saved the names and addresses. Apparently he had corresponded with this mysterious Skyboy from the time he was 10. Skyboy seemed like he was about 10 as well. The correspondence lasted a number of years, but you saw that in the file.
Tell them about the place, in Little Falls.
This is a strange story, Mr. Black, but it's real. My grandma and grandpa took Bucky on a vacation when he was 10. The brothers were all grown and gone, and except my father, who was building a house right next door to his parents. They decided to tour southern Idaho, where grandma had cousins. They started at Twins Falls, visited the cousins, and then struck out to places Bucky had read about. First Silver City, then Craters of the Moon.
I never heard of either of those places.
They're both in southern Idaho. Map says about 200 driving miles apart on Highway 20. Silver City is at 43 degrees, 1 minute and 68 seconds, and 11 degrees, 73 minutes, 32 seconds west. It was about 20 miles closer to the equator.
I'm not sure I've ever been given directions by MapQuest with coordinates.
Modern world, Mr. Black, GPS and everything.
So Celia, you sound quite familiar with these spots. Traveled there yourself?
Between my junior and senior years, I did a project out there, but Uncle Bucky had read to me and told me about what he called his studies.
And how does this fit together? Little Falls is a lot farther away from Spokane than Idaho.
Sorry, I get caught up remembering my uncle.
You had some notes in the file called UFO Theory. You mentioned Area 51. How does Nevada fit in?
Here's where the story gets a bit slippery.
Now it's getting slippery.
During the visit to Silver City, did I mention that it was a ghost town? Once a thriving silver mining center, now a bunch of empty buildings and a few tourist facilities.
There's a lot of stuff on the internet about it.
Anyway, Uncle Bucky, well, 10-year-old Bucky, did I mention his legal name was Benjamin Astron Woodson?
The file just said B.A. Woodson. Benjamin Astron? Family names?
Benjamin was the name of the first Woodson to cross the Rockies.
And Astron?
The Greek word for stars. Like my grandma always said, my gift from the stars. She was responsible for the Astron.
I don't want to rush you, but I want to have enough information to move on this. I've read the file, and I know you're leaving tomorrow morning.
And there's something else too. It's a full moon tonight, and Bobby had promised to show me Little Falls by moonlight.
Bobby?
Little Falls by moonlight. Who knew?
Well, I've looked at the files. Maybe I can just ask a few questions. We can also follow up by email or FaceTime.
Cressida has started to teach me about the 21st century.
Of course.
What happened in Silver City?
As I heard it, Bucky met another kid his age who was there with his family. And the two boys scoured the old buildings, bought every guidebook they could find in the tourist center. And the next thing the parents knew, they were in a 2-car caravan to the craters of the Moon State Park. 1,117 square miles of lava flows with scattered islands of cinder cones and sagebrush.
You sound like a guidebook.
It's because I memorized it when I was 8 years old to show off to Uncle Bucky.
And why that place?
The boys, Bucky and the Sky Boy, got this idea in their heads that they saw a UFO hovering above a hill in the east of the ghost town. They decided it was headed to the craters of the moon.
I'm not sure I see the connection.
I really don't see the connection.
You're not the only one. But the parents were game, so off they went, even though they were pretty sure the boys had just been out in the sun for too long.
Mr. Black, what do you think? Can you help?
Let me get a couple things straight. Nobody remembers the name of the family who joined the Woodsons, right?
Right.
And you want to find Skyboy. Why exactly?
Uncle Bucky died 2 years ago.
Oh, sorry for your loss.
We lose a hunter in the mountains every year during elk season. 2 years ago, it was my buddy, Uncle Bucky. I owe it to him, like finishing his story.
How did you make the connection with Little Falls?
Like I said, my uncle and his pen pal always believed that they had seen a flying saucer in Silver City, and they thought they saw it again in the lava fields,
No lava fields in Little Falls.
but very close latitudes. They were working on a theory that UFOs, now UAPs of course, developed their flight plans to follow latitudes around this planet.
I'm afraid we have left the planet on this one.
Don't worry, Mr. Black, I don't believe it exactly either. It's just a way to finish out my uncle's story.
A sort of melancholy memento.
More of a romantic quest. And maybe you saw that list of dates in the file, attachment 11? He plotted out 20 years of potential sighting locations with projected dates. Little Falls is on that list. The spaceship should be here tonight.
I told Celia I'd take her up to the top of the cemetery to watch the moon and maybe see her uncle's UFO.
Well, who am I to stand in the way of flying saucers?
And young love. If they watch long enough, who knows what they'll see.
Go ahead and look at the moon, you two. I've got enough information to do some inquiries. I'll probably start at the VFW, then check out the Mahjong players. Maybe someone will remember something.
Thank you. I knew you could help. See, Celia, I told you you could help.
With cheeses from Herkimer, Oneida, Madison, and Otsego County, the Little Falls Cheese Festival has something for everybody. Don't leave town without some of the best cheeses you'll find in the whole state.
Mac Blac Associates.
You know it's me, Mac. I set the phone to display my red stilettos for you when I call.
I just finished up with Bobby and Celia, and my head's in the stars.
What are you talking about?
I'll explain. Shall I meet you at the Renaissance?
15 minutes. I'll be there. Oh, and Harry is looking at Wilma.
This has been quite a day. New digs, old friends. Stargazing and moonwatching. Giant scissors and flying saucers. Or should I say, unidentified aeronautical phenomena. Bobby's in love, and I'm meeting Cressida. She'll be wearing those red stilettos. And who knows? Maybe the kids will find out once and for all if the moon is made of green cheese.
Stranger things are happening. Meanwhile, we here at the Mystery Theater of the Air would like to thank you for your support in this latest look at the ongoing work of Mr. Mac Blac, the only professional problem solver in the Little Falls phone book. And yes, there is a Little Falls. Take a bow, folks. Before you go, let me remind you that cheese awaits you on Main Street. That's local cheese. Cheese from our neighbors' cows, from their goats, from their sheep. Healthy cheese, happy cheese. The kind of cheese that helped Little Falls. But before you go, our ad man has a final message.
One of you lucky folks has in your program the key to being the winner of the door prize. The name of the star of the show has been highlighted.
Hey!
One more thing before you go, a hand please for our playwright. And our son.
Wonderful as always.
Yeah.